Hello everyone, Jay Whitner here with Crowdfunding Coverage, our internet TV show brought to you by Kickstarter Coaching and the Space Finance Group. We do a quick overview of what happens each month in the crowdfunding space. So today we're going to be talking about December of 2016. In December there were 9 big campaigns that raised $900,000 or more. These big campaigns brought in about $18 million. The biggest campaign was redefining luxury watches. That campaign raised a little over $5 million. So we're going to talk later on about the 8 big campaigns and some of the reasons they were successful. But we're going to start with a review of the news of the month. WeFunder, that's the leading platform in the new equity crowdfunding, is doing some equity crowd raising for themselves. They raised $1.8 million in an internal crowdfunding campaign for WeFunder to keep the fires burning, maybe corporate growth as they continue to set the pace for equity crowdfunding. Also on equity crowdfunding, there's some news from the House. Congressman McHenry led the charge in the House for passage of a bill to address some of the issues still outstanding in crowdfunding. So there's good benefits in this bill, which will go to the House, and then they'll have to sort of iron out the differences between them. So this is not law yet, but a nice step forward. So good for Congressman McHenry. We have seen occasionally in crowdfunding since almost the very beginning that there's a few bad apples floating around, which makes perfect sense. I think there's been over 400,000 crowdfunding campaigns now, so certainly there have been some scam artists in the mix. Indiegogo is taking what I think is a good step forward, that they're tightening up their security, and they're going to utilize collection agencies to go after people that commit fraud on the platform. So anything that chases those people down and tries to recoup the money for the backers, I think is perfect. So kudos to Indiegogo for doing that. Also, Indiegogo recently got into the equity crowdfunding space, and they had very nice success in the very first month. They raised about $600,000, so good for Indiegogo. They got off to a nice beginning, and we'll see how things unfold over the next 6 months or so to see where they fit into the mix. Next gen crowdfunding is over, I guess, monitoring, you might call it, what's going on in the equity crowdfunding space, and what we're seeing is steady growth in equity crowdfunding since it became legal in May of 2016, I guess a little under 6 months ago. But we're seeing very rapid growth. In the second quarter of 2016, over $2 million was raised. In the third quarter of 2016, over $4 million was raised. And in the fourth quarter of 2016, I believe about $7 million was raised, for a total of roughly $15 million already being gathered up through equity crowdfunding. So things have started a little bit slower than many people anticipated, but we are seeing steady growth. So 2017, I guess, will tell the tale. So on to some of the big campaigns that happened in the month. We'll talk about 8 big campaigns. They ranged in size from about $1 million to $5 million. The length of the videos range from 1.5 minutes to 3 minutes, which is a very nice tight range, about what we recommend. The duration of the campaigns ranged from 29 to 45 days, so a little bit longer than what's thought to be optimum. Usually somewhere in the 30-day range is about what people think is ideal. In the amount of rewards offered, it ranged from a rather skimpy 3 rewards up to 16. I think it's good to offer your supporters a variety of rewards to choose from, so 3 seems not really enough to me. I would advocate more. 16 sounds reasonable. And the updates, the updates are where, of course, you tell your supporters, what's going on in your campaign, what you're doing, what's happening. The number of updates range from 9 to 114. Now, I don't remember if 114 is the biggest number of updates I've seen, but I can't think of any reasonable rationale for why you would need to do so many. There's so many different things to do in a campaign. I think that's just over the top. I think 2 updates a week is probably pretty good. If you want to do 3 or even 4, great. But 114, I'm not really sure what the reasoning is behind that. So the campaigns themselves. Font Awesome 5 is one of our campaigns we'll talk about. They have been a big player on the web for a while in terms of designing icons and social media logos and that kind of thing. So some of the things they did with their campaign is they had early bird pricing, which gives a discount to people who come in early to support the campaign. They had 13 stretch goals that they reached, which is a good strategy. It allows you to keep your primary campaign goal low, but giving rationale for you to keep continually to supporting the campaign, making it better, having more things being offered. And they had pictures of some of the actual rewards. This might sound like a regular thing to do, but quite often you don't see it because you get volume discounts on the rewards that you buy, and normally you don't know how many you're going to get until the campaign's over. So a lot of the time you don't actually have the real materials during the campaign phase. If you do, or if you can, it's very nice to actually show the real thing. 7 hugs was an interesting idea. We all have plenty of remotes roaming around the house. This remote is unique in that it has a display on the top. It's that's a little bit like an iPhone display. It can display whatever you want. But depending on what it is you're pointing at, it configures the display for what you're pointing at. So if you pointed at the TV, it shows the controls for the TV. If you pointed at the light, it shows the controls for the light. So nifty idea. They also had multiple early bird levels. So you can have several of these, and these people did. Maybe the very earliest people get 1 discount, the next group of people get another discount, so you kind of step your way into that sort of thing. They used the GIFs, those sort of mini videos without sound that you see, a good way to communicate different things. And they had supplemental videos, which I harp on quite often in my show, that you're not limited to just 1 video. And the main video of your campaign can't be too long. So if you feel like you've got more that you need to convey, by all means, use 1 or 2 supplemental videos to convey it. They're done much better than overloading your main video. Next, we have Acton Blink. This is a neat-looking skateboard. It's an electric skateboard. So you can, for example, skateboard up a hill, that kind of thing. Some of the neat things in their campaign is they use the GIFs very well to show different aspects of their boards. They too had supplemental videos to show the different things. And they gave their supporters a very fundamental choice by offering 3 different models of the skateboard. One was like super high tech with like carbon graphite and different things on it. So different price points, different capabilities. And this allows more people to engage with your campaign. We also had Eve 5. This is a computer that was developed through crowdfunding as opposed to coming from one of the giant electronic houses. So sort of fans and passionate people designed and developed this computer. They had a very nice comparison chart to compare the metrics of their computer with those of their competitors. This is a great thing to do if you feel like you have a strong position in objective, factual things. Show that every way you can. That's good. They also highlighted their suppliers. And I'm embarrassed, I can't remember at the moment who the suppliers were, but I think it might have been Intel might have been one of their suppliers and so forth. So by pointing out and highlighting the suppliers, it adds believability, credibility to their campaign, that they're working with some giant companies that know what they're doing, and this lends credence to the whole situation. One of the unusual things they did is they also offered reservations on their campaign. So if you didn't want to buy, if you didn't need the computer immediately, you could pledge a smaller amount that in effect got you a reservation to buy a computer from them at the discounted campaign price. I thought that was an interesting strategy. Next we have View smart glasses. Now, smart glasses, the idea of smart glasses has been around for a while, with I guess Google Glass being the most famous of all of them. But the Google Glass, you look a little bit weird wearing those things. So what the View smart glasses are doing is they look like regular glasses. They don't have all the features that some earlier ones did. So they have a limited feature set, but they look like regular glasses. So you can listen to music, talk on the phone through your glasses, and other things as well. But so it's a trade for the appearance versus the feature set, basically. In their campaign, they used the GIFs, the mini videos. They had 3 stretch goals that they achieved, and they gave their backers a choice. They had 2 different styles of the glasses. The glasses were available in 3 different colors. So if you can offer choices like this without breaking the bank, a very, very good strategy to do. Next we had a tabletop game, Mythic Battles Pantheon. It was an interesting campaign page. It was very long, lots of stuff in the campaign page, but you had to go down really deep in the page to learn very much about the game itself. They had a video that showed fighting and stuff and interesting effects, but there wasn't like a voice saying the game is about this and this is what it's going to do and all this kind of stuff. There was very little explanation until you went really deep into the campaign. They had 55 stretch goals, which I know if you're not familiar with crowdfunding, it sounds like an insane amount of stretch goals, and it is for almost everything except tabletop games. It's not unusual of a strategy to have a really high number of stretch goals for a tabletop game. They use supplemental videos in their campaign showing various things, including, I think, one like a mock gameplay video, so you could see people playing the game and understand it better. And they offered the game in French and English. So if you think you might have a campaign that appeals to international clientele, think about how you're going to deal with the language issue. Next, we have Air acoustically stunning wireless headphones. And these are what I call true wireless headphones. Sometimes you see things that are called wireless. They have like 2 earbuds with a cord in between them, and they call it wireless because there's not a cord from that unit down to your phone. These are true wireless, just a little earbud with no wire dangling from it on either side. So it's full wireless. They raised a lot of money. Very, very neat video and concept, good product. Some of the things they did is they offered a warranty. This is still not something that is consistently offered on all these crowdfunding campaigns. So if you're confident of your product, you're willing to back it up, tell people that you're offering a warranty. They had sort of a sign at the top of their campaign, discount ends on this time, this day. The discount ends, I think it was 30% discount ends at this time. Well, that's when the campaign ends. So they're highlighting the fact that you're getting a deal if you back this campaign instead of waiting later on and buying it from us after the campaign. Also, they were offering a very large number of units in a distributor pack. This is something that in the early days of crowdfunding, some of the platforms were really not allowing, but now that restriction seems to be gone. So lots of people are offering large numbers of their product for retailers that might want to get involved. The big campaign of the month was redefining luxury watches. Filippo Loretti. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that more or less correctly. They did a huge campaign for traditional type of watches. It's not a smartwatch like regular watches. They raised $5 million, some of the things they did is they did give the people a choice. They had 3 different major styles of the watches. They were available in different colors. So you could really pick out the watch that you want. More so than like, here's the watch that looks like this. They're offering a 10-year warranty, which I don't recall seeing on any other Kickstarter project, although I don't have time to look at all of them. There's too many. But a 10-year warranty, very strong. And a limited edition watch. They're all numbered on the back. Each style had a limit of 1,600 something units for each style was all there was going to be. So there was a scarcity thing, a collectability thing. And congratulations to them, $5 million. That's quite strong. That's it for the December edition of Crowdfunding Coverage. Again, if you have questions about crowdfunding, you can come see us at Kickstarter Coaching at the Space Finance Group to learn about how crowdfunding might fit into what you have in mind. We'll see you a month from now with the next report, and have a great day.